So, biscuits and gravy. I'm gonna start this off with just pan frying a bunch of bacon and a bunch of sausage. Kind of cutting through this fast so you folks can just see how it takes. It does take about, all said and done, an hour to make biscuits and gravy. Longer if you're making the biscuits from scratch. I'm using store-bought here. I'm also going to be frying up a bit of sausage to go with the gravy. We need the bacon grease and the sausage grease to make our gravy more flavorful. But you are welcome to use any kind of fat you want. So if you want to use vegetable oil, olive oil, what have you, you can. For breakfast meals, and like biscuits and gravy, especially since I serve bacon with it, it makes more sense for me to use the bacon grease, and you get some of that bacon flavor into the gravy. So it's important when you're cooking pork and chicken especially to make sure they get to the proper temperature to ensure no salmonella poisoning. For pork, if you don't know, the proper temp is 145 degrees Fahrenheit or 62.8 degrees Celsius. Now with the bacon, it's too thin for me to temp check with a thermometer, but I can and I do temp check my sausage. We got about 15 more minutes left on my cooking time at this point. So when your stuff is just about done, you can pop your biscuits in. You saw I just checked with my thermometer that everything was good to go. So I'm getting the last little bits done. I've cleaned out my pan and I've added about a half cup of my bacon grease reserved over into the pan. I'm adding some salt and pepper and we're going to make a roux. That's equal parts flour and fat. So I got my half cup of grease and my half cup of flour now. I'm going to give it a kind of mix and stir here. You're going to need some evaporated milk with the vitamin D added. You're also going to need a large bowl of hot water. I'm not going to give an exact measurement because the water's there to either thin out the gravy or make it thicker depending on how much water you add. Every batch is going to be different based on how everything works. So like I've said, we're making a roux here. The blonde roux are really easy to make. That's when they're still kind of white and a little bit opaque. Like red brick roux for like gumbo, those are difficult to make. It takes a long time and a lot of patience and a lot of stirring to get it right. For a biscuits and gravy kind of morning bacon gravy, I want it to be kind of a more nutty brown. As the flours get toasted in the bacon grease, they get more familiar with those flavors and it starts taking on a lot more flavor, which is why I go easy on the seasonings in the beginning. At the end, I can go season everything to taste, but in the beginning, you want to kind of play it by ear because I don't know how well the flour is going to get acquainted. Now we've reached my desired color. I'm going to add in my milk and I'm going to stir in and dissolve my roux. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of water at a time until I get the consistency I want. I'm going to keep my bowl to the side of me and just keep kind of bouncing back and forth. Like I said, we salt and taste. We taste and we salt and pepper until we get to the desired flavor and the right consistency. It's just a balancing act. All right. Gravy's just about done now. I'm going to pull it off the heat in just a minute. Once I get it to the right consistency and texture and everything I want, I'm going to dump it into my waiting bowl. And that's it, biscuits and gravy. I like to serve with bacon and sausage. Sometimes I'll make eggs and hash browns. It just depends on how busy the morning is. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.